Hey guys, and welcome to the first live stream of Real In Films. I was gonna say subtitles required, but welcome to the first live stream of Real In Films. I won't be sharing tonight's stream. Probably will share later on, but this week has been a little bit. We got in this weekend. Very, very sad news. Uh, News that for me as a fan was shocking, and for me as a person that got to meet him as well was a little bit harsh to, you know, accept the ugly truth, right? So this weekend, a ranger has fallen. The legendary Jason David Frank, that we've seen him in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Zeo, Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Turbo. We've seen them in Dino Thunder. He did came to the anniversary event for Super Mega Force, and as well he has cameoed in the 2017 film with Amy Jo Johnson, Kimberly, and he has been portraying this character Tommy Oliver for a long time. And not only did he portray Tommy Oliver, he became the actual villain as well in the comic book series of from Boom Studio, Lord Dragon. And he had this passion project called The Legend of the White Dragon. I remember seeing the first trailer uh in a con because it was still a project that was you know it was a passion project that he was trying to make like something different, like Power Rangers, like for adults, I would say. Letting that be that was his final project. And just knowing that there is a slight chance that we probably might not see this film, but at the same time there's a chance that we will, because it was his last project. Power Rangers, since I was little. Power Rangers released in 1993. um I started watching it at 96. I was 6 years old. So I was watching reruns, but still, there were moments where the channel that I was watching it would give us like marathons to watch from the start to the end. And I remember watching all these Rangers come to life. And I remember that my uncle and my aunt would sit down with me and watch it, and we would be all the time making fun like it's morphin time and everything. And just seeing Tommy, that was one of my favorite characters in Power Rangers, and seeing him how he became like this ranger that kept moving forward in regards to his character, and just the excitement of how this show became part of like my life, and just having the chance to meet him was amazing. I remember the first time that I saw the episode of the Evil Green Ranger. I remember like if it was yesterday. I remember seeing this new ranger. I was like, wait, but isn't don't we only have these primary five characters? Jason, Kimberly, Zach, Billy, and Trini, and now we have Tommy, and Tommy being like the sixth ranger, and then from being evil, you had him be the Green Ranger for a couple of more episodes, and then you retire the Green Ranger to have a new ranger come into to its place, that it will be the White Ranger, and continuing with his, I would say, with his character, I would say, for a long time. For me, as somebody that loves to collect, I collect a lot of things. I'm a major collector. If you guys literally see my background, I have little bits and nits everywhere. From video games to series, from Funkos to comic books, from VHS to DVDs, and as well trading card games. Because if you guys know me, uh, I am a very big fan of Magic the Gathering. But one of the things that I've always wanted to collect, but it was really difficult because I was always a student. I never sat down and worked, and if I worked, I would like use the money to promote or continue what I was trying to thrive for by the time. But whenever I had a chance to get something Power Rangers related, I would treasure it, and I would, all the time maintain, that fandom, and I would defend Power Rangers till the end. And I remember that my first piece of like collectible was one random day I went to this thrift shop, and lurking in the boxes I found the VHS of the Evil Green Ranger, the first episode, the first appearance. And by that chance, Jason David Frank was coming to Comic Con here in Puerto Rico. Me and my best friend John, he's a brother to me. That first Comic Con that I went with him, I didn't have money. I only had my memorabilia on hand. And then my friend was like, "Hey, I paid for the signatures. If you want, give me the stuff and see if I can get them signed." I'm like, "Yes, please. If you can, please do it." By that time, I only had two things: the VHS and a White Ranger Funko Pop, because Funko Pop was starting its reign, um, in, I would say, in popularity. So my friend goes. I remember the booth was really, really small. I saw Jason David Frank from afar, me geeking out like a crazy person. Because even though I didn't get to meet him, at least I got to see him. And I'm like, yes, that is my childhood hero. When my friend came back to me and he gave me both my signed White Ranger and my signed copy of the VHS, I was mesmerized. I couldn't believe it. And that's where my journey started. What journey, I say? I not only am a fan of Power Rangers, but I'm trying to complete the Funko line of the Power Rangers, have each one of them being signed by their actor or actress. From there, years passed, and my friend John was like, "Hey, he's coming back to Puerto Rico." I'm like, "Nah, no way." He is. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna save up money because I want to be able to see him in person and tell him how much of a fan I am." I don't remember the exact year, but I can tell you this. I know this shirt you got it's pretty old, but That year at Comic Con, we went with a group of friends from the university. We rented a school bus, and we were all going crazy. I remember that by that time I was practicing mixed martial arts with my friend John, and I was like, you know what? I don't know what cosplay is, but I'm just gonna dress up as a fighter. So I had my hands all with the fist ba- binding, had my Echo Unlimited MMA shorts, had some like DC shoes, had a tap out shirt, and I had my fighting gloves, my MMA fighting gloves. And that year, I didn't bring anything. I didn't bring anything because that year already had my my two things. So crazy story is that when I go ahead and go meet him, they were like, "You can either get the print and the shirt, or you can get both for a price, and he can sign you both things." So I did get the shirt. There's this one right here. He was actually promoting like a Christian shirt line, plus his brand just Jesus didn't tap. And in the back of the shirt is the Power Ranger logo, but it says Mighty Morphin, Mighty Morphin. I think it's Mighty Morphin or Mighty Prayer. Um, I don't remember exactly, but in the back of the shirt it says like Mighty Prayer, or Ranger, something like that. And I was super ecstatic. The shirt was signed. It faded off during due to time, but I did get signed my MMA gloves. I got my print. Everybody was getting like the Power Ranger prints, but I was a fan of mixed martial arts, so I was like, no, I want the one that has him in his MMA like pose and whatnot. So I got that. I still have it with the Comic Con tickets and everything. Super excited because that day I remember seeing him. He's like, "You do you fight MMA?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." He's like, "Oh, great. I do too, and just keep fighting for what you want." I was super excited because my hero was talking to me. I remember that exact same year, I think Jason Font was as well at Comic Con, um, and my friend John did get a signature from him. But at the same time, I think it was not the same year. But more years passed, and the announcement of Super Mega Force, the anniversary, because we were celebrating, I think it was 25 years or 30 years of Power Rangers. And when I saw that trailer, seeing Jason David Frank back in the green just gave me a lot of emotions because, as a fan, seeing him back, and not only him, many characters came back, many Rangers came back for that episode. And obviously, for me, it would have been more great if you could have gotten all of them in that episode. You know, Obviously, you guys know he had a lot of other projects. He appeared countless of times in Bad in the Sun as the Green or White Ranger as well. He did appear in the Valiant comic movie for I think it was Bloodshot. Bloodshot. They did the comic book covers for Bloodshot of Jason David Frank, and then the bigger news came in. That was when the new Power Rangers film came out. They did mention that there was this very, very specific cameo, but they didn't mention who was going to be part of the cameo. So I'm not gonna lie with you guys. At first, I didn't want to see this film. Then I saw all the trailers together. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give this film a shot. It's super funny that out of the blue, when I was watching that film, you see me stand up and just singing "Go Go Power Rangers" on theater, and I was super ecstatic and super happy when I saw Jason David Frank and Amy Jo Johnson there as a cameo in the movie. Just highlight the original Power Rangers. Throughout his career, I kept following him and just seeing how amazing he was with his fans, how amazing he was when COVID happened. That he went ahead and he was like, let's go ahead and let's go to the local comic book stores, like that they can, have a little bump in regards to, uh money wise, because COVID did hit those stores hard. You know, he was always there for his fans. I don't know if I mentioned at the start that there's three stories inside my life getting to know Jason David Frank. This third one is the one that mostly hurts because this one was a little bit more in the personal level. I might have not gotten to like sit down and talk to him front face to face, or gone to how I would say dinner, or hanged out with his family or whatnot. But for me, that interaction that I had with him, that final time that I met him, that solidified how much of a fan and how much he loved his fans. Not only himself, his daughter as well. It was a GuadaCon, or a Guada Comic Fest. I was super excited. I was working with Capitan Granuja Comics and Games. I was there as a booth, and I was excited because I was like, you know what? This day I'm gonna go ahead and get my autographs. And it was a challenge because by that time, Lord Draken, or the Boom Studio comic books, and the Shattered Grid was already going to popularity. And it was really difficult here in Puerto Rico to find a Lord Draken. So I had a lot of friends of mine like, hey, if you see this Funko Pop, please get it, and I'll send you the money. That year, I was ready. Literally saved up all of my money just to get some of my things signed and add them to my collection. I was like, I'm gonna get my Green Ranger signed, my Lord Draken signed, and I think I have two comic books signed by him, and an additional comic book for a friend. In Aguada Comic Fest, you would choose to either buy the signatures only, or buy a signature and a picture. So, in regards that I had so many items, I only focused on signatures. So there was me. I was, I think, the last person before he would gotten up on stage in the Comic Fest to present the first teaser trailer of The Legend of the White Dragon. I go up to him, the one of the employees of the Comic Con. They were like, "Hey, it's your turn." I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." I go and put everything there, and he asked me if I have had met him before, and I'm like, "Yes." Actually, this was the third time. And he's like, really? And then I'm like, yeah, first time I saw you from afar. Second time was in Puerto Rico Comic Con. You signed my fighting gloves and one of your shirts by that time. And today I actually get to meet you in person. And I'm getting these things signed because I want to have a piece. I'm not gonna say history, but I want to have a piece of my childhood always with me. He went ahead, stand up. He finished signing everything standing up. He shook my hand and he said, I want to thank you for being a fan of Power Rangers. And it's an honor to meet you at last after 3 tries. And I went ahead and I told him, like, thank you, I didn't have words because I was starstruck. So, but the part that got very interesting was that when I was about to grab my things and go, he stopped me. He's like, "Hey!" stop. He didn't say stop, but he was like, hey, do you want to take a picture? And I told them, I can't because I didn't pay for the photo op. He's like, I don't care about the people from the Comic Con at this moment. He gave my phone to his daughter, and his daughter took a couple of pictures of us together. When we finished taking pictures, he sees me and he's like, never give up, and I hope to see you on stage to see the teaser. And I told him I've seen the teaser so many times that I can't wait for the Legend of the White Dragon. Then he's like, I have to go. I gotta get up on stage, but thank you so much for this little time that I actually could speak with a fan. Yes, I understand. For many people, it's just an actor. For many people, it's just somebody that is not a family member or anything. But for me, these Rangers, they were a part of my childhood, and each one that we have lost, it's a pain because each one was important. But for me, Jason David Frank was a little bit much more harder because of so many times that I tried to meet him, I got to meet him at last. And me being a father right now and being able to say to my son, hey, I one day you'll understand why I like this. One day I will show you what what are the Power Rangers. And probably you might like them, probably you might not. But at least I will give you this piece of childhood that helped me in the good and in the bad. And why does this hurt me more? Because if in the events of what happened to Jason David Frank, in the events of what can depression do to you, or what actions depression can get you to make, are things that I've been through myself. That's why I take this a little bit much more personal because I've been in those shoes. So for whoever's watching or later on listens to this, you're not alone. If you need to speak to somebody, speak. Don't let your emotions stay inside of you. Speak to somebody, get it all out, vent off, and fight. And this is me, somebody that's been through this countless of times. Keep fighting. Jason would have wanted you to keep fighting. Our green, white, red ranger, and black ranger, and now Legend of the White Dragon, would have wanted you to keep fighting. Jason David Frank was not only an actor, was not only a an icon, was not only a ranger, but he was an amazing person. And I hope that one day I get to meet his daughter once again and just sit down and tell her how amazing his father was. Power Rangers have been here with us for so long, and so many of us have understand that Power Rangers is something that a lot of people changed their lives, or a lot of people just, you know, enjoy it or collect it. Look at myself. Um I interview people sometimes in a collaboration. This is the official hat that I use in every interview. In every interview, that hat has to be there. But getting back to the topic in hand, me being somebody that has survived, me being somebody that has survived this before, me being somebody that has fought depression before, and sometimes I still fight it. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard to talk about it. I'm gonna you that you are watching me or listening, don't give up. Don't give up, because the person with the biggest smile probably is the one that needs the most help. There's this one series that he did. I think it was in YouTube. That was putting in the mask. That series has a lot of things to say, guys, and I just want to say to everybody out there, every Power Ranger fan, or every anybody that loves Power Rangers out there, and if you don't, it's fine. And as well for Jason's family, I just want to say to keep fighting, keep moving forward, and wherever you are, Jason, you are in a better place. Uh, I think we all know that you are in a better place, and this is the final thing that I'm going to say just to wrap things up. Today during my shift at work, I was just in my break and I was going through TikTok, and I found this TikTok video that actually broke me in half because I didn't see it that way. But at the moment that we all have our communicators on and try to call for Tommy Oliver, he won't respond. Ranger has fallen, guys, but we need to keep moving forward, and we all know that he is in a better place. And again, if you need to talk to somebody, if you need to talk to somebody, go ahead and talk to them. And if a friend of mine is seeing this as well, from my part, if you need somebody to talk to, go right ahead. Just give me a call. Let it be a family member, let it be a friend, let it be the person next to you. Always try to see if you can make the person smile. I just gotta say, these final words for Jason. Jason, wherever you are out there, thank you. Thank you for being part of the Power Rangers. Thank you for giving us that VR Trooper pilot. Thank you for always bringing us smiles at every con. And I know that all of your friends out there, all of your Ranger friends would say the same thing. Thank you. I know that out there you are in a better place. And one final thing that I have to say is it's morphin time. Thank you for everybody that joined in. Thank you for everybody that listened. We will be back. But this week, we'll stay in silence. Good night, guys.